Heyo, it's me, Harper Savage, and today, I have the sketchbook out. You know what that means. Finally time for another moon phase after taking a break in October because of all the, uploading I was doing. So let's go ahead and look for October's full moon. And yes, you heard that correctly, October's full moon. Yes, I'm behind, it's fine, we're just gonna have back-to-back full moons. So October's full moon is called the Hunter Moon. And as you can see, the layout is interesting again because I got those Sharpie creative markers and that's all I wanted to use. So I was sketching thumbnails in that design, and also the next full moon you can kind of like see it ghosting through the paper because that's what I was using to thumbnail sketch ideas. But yeah, this is our general plan. So let me get it onto the iPad and get started here. All right, I have it all set up on my iPad here. Yes, the image is a little hard to see, but I was trying to get rid of the extra lines in the photo. But let's go ahead and get started here. Alright, so let's talk about the Hunter's Moon. It appeared on October 17th in 2024. It happened to be the biggest and brightest supermoon this year. There were 4 supermoons this year. I don't know if that's normal or not, but I thought that was kind of interesting. So this moon's name, like the last one, is actually tied to the autumn equinox. So it is the first full moon that follows the harvest moon. So that means it can appear in October or November. So it's actually called the Hunter's Moon because it's the time when, hunters should be preparing for the colder months. So they should be hunting. It's also easier for them to hunt at this time because all the fields have been cleared out and plowed, harvested and all that. And, the deer will come out looking for scraps at that time, so they're easier to see in the fields. It also happens to be the time when they start, fattening up their other animals for the winter, So, I had quite a bit of problems with this moon for some reason. I think it's just I was not into it at this point. I had sketched it months in advance. Maybe not months, maybe more like a month or so. And I was into it then, but now when I'm doing this, not so much. So I had the opportunity to record this way ahead of time, and I just didn't because I wanted to focus on Inktober and Calmtober. I did Inktober in shorts and Calmtober in longs, and that bled into November because of how long I had to be away for. I didn't record enough ahead of time, so there was no way that this was happening. So yes, it's late. Of course it's late. It's the latest I think I've ever been though. But I had a lot of issues with the leaves. For some reason I couldn't freehand the leaves like I thought I could. So I went ahead and in the corner sketched up what I was attempting to make an oak leaf. I'm not sure if that's the type of tree I based this off of in the sketches, and I didn't write it down and I usually do, but I think that's what I was going for. Just because that's what I was surrounded by a lot growing up was the huge oak trees. So that's the leaf I'm most familiar with. They're huge. They're as big as my dog's head sometimes, or they can be itty bitty. But yeah, I went ahead and I sketched it in the corner, and then I copied and pasted it into the places I wanted leaves to be. I do individually line them though, so they don't look exactly alike every time. That's one of my shortcut tricks without it actually being too much of a shortcut because I still want it to look like I did draw them individually. And I also wasn't happy with how the tree was going around the moon. It made it look wider, and in the end it still does, but I do fix it a little bit. But first I have to draw in all the leafies. I also wasn't happy with how the bow turned out. So I actually bring in the sketch of the bow I made to, you know, draw it in better. I just was having an off day, I think. Like, nothing was turning out how I wanted it to. And, you know, spoilers, if I wasn't clear, I'm not too happy with how this moon turned out. I think it is my least favorite out of all the moons I've done so far. And I don't know if it's because I don't like the concept anymore, I don't like the colors. It just wasn't my best work in my opinion, but I've already shown it to other people and they said that they liked it without me saying, hey, I don't like this. You know, they weren't like just trying to cheer me up, they like legitimately liked it. So I guess I'm happy with it after all. I don't know. This wasn't my best work, I feel. But you see me pointing there, right there, at that. That's chi. But let's address the chibi in the room here. So the reason I was gone for so long is actually because I was moving. Now, that's a huge milestone for me because I've, you know, lived with my parents most of my life. I just didn't have the financial ability that I needed to move. I actually moved with my sister. She's the more financially stable one. So don't think I moved on my own or anything. And like, we're finally out of our parents' house, which is nice. And like, you know, you can make fun of me if you want in the comments for being with my parents for so long, but it's just, I live in an expensive state. And I couldn't move away from it, even if I wanted to, because both of my parents are disabled, so I can't move too far, but we are out of their house. So the new setup is still a cloffice, you know, office closet. That's where I was originally, if you did not know that. I was in my closet in my bedroom for like all of my streams, all my games, all my art. That was the closet. Still in a closet now, but it's a little bit of a different ratio. So it's not as long as the other cloffice was, but it's deeper. So I actually get to sit in it now. Because before I had like, it was mostly taken up by my 73-inch desk. And I would kind of sit in like the doorway and hanging out of the cloffice area. But now I can sit fully inside of it, and I can even close the curtain behind me so I can like pretend like I'm in a little office for real. And it's great. And now we have the extra bonus of chi being in the background sometimes if I continue to do more digital art on my channel. So, you know, I spent most of October moving. It took a lot longer than I wanted it to. That's why the videos for Calmtober were late. But actually for Inktober, the shorts, I had been done recording them like on October 10th. It was great. And I thought I had enough content done so no one would even miss me. But moving is like harder than it seems. I know I was expecting it not to be easy. Okay, it's not like I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be so easy. But we kept dropping things off here and there because we actually had owned the place before we started moving into it. You know, crazy concept, I know. But because we weren't in a rush to get out, like we weren't at the end of a lease or anything like a lot of people usually are, we could take our time moving. We gave ourselves a personal like end date. But, yeah, it basically took all of October. There's still some things here and there that are at our parents' house that we are gonna, like, slowly bring over here. But, they were not essential. Like, it's wall decorations, that's what's left of mine anyways. if anyone is concerned about my small business, No Ducks Were Harmed, if you're unfamiliar, I run a small business on the side where I make handmade things / get prints of things. Like, I make things out of clay. I have badges / buttons, whatever you refer to them as, that I make. And I also was starting to get like the sticker books and stuff. That might change. We'll talk about that in another video. And also I was selling my journals in person that this design is going on to. But all of that stuff is actually staying at our parents' house. We have our own space now, but it wasn't enough space for us to run our business out of it. And that's just how it has to be. But that's okay. It'll give us an excuse to go back home more often than never, you know? But because we did move out of our bedrooms at our parents' house, we can actually move our craft room out of the basement there if we want to. And we are. Trust me, we are. My parents don't actually like going up and down stairs anymore. That's the kind of disabled they are. So we can actually move our craft room into their master bedroom, and me and Nock, my sister, can still have bedrooms at home for when we spend the night, like for holidays, for instance. Thanksgiving's coming up. So instead of waking up at 3 a.m. to go to our parents' house and help them cook the turkey, we can go there the night before, and it works out. And also, if we have any cons or shows far away, we could spend the night there with the, like, truck already packed up and not have to, like, wake up super early, go pack the truck, and then head back out. Yeah, we live far enough away that there can't be any random drop-bys, but also close enough that it's not a big deal to at least me and Nock, because we used to travel for work all the time, so it wasn't a big deal if we were going to be an hour or so away. But I know for other people it's a big deal to travel that long for some reason. I'm like, that's how it works here, though. You should get with it. Here as in my state, because, like, yeah. When you know, you know. So, I'm super excited. My room is a lot smaller than it used to be, but my closet is, like, a little bit different. But I don't mind the room being smaller or anything. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that I'm in a smaller room now. But I have 2 windows now. Oh my god, that's so exciting. I used to only have 1 window. And also, there are so many outlets here. It's crazy. It's so nice. Despite that, we still had to get outlets put in for our internet lines because they were not in good spots. Because I'm pretty sure this used to be just like a Wi-Fi house. That's like pretty common now. But we wanted actual lines so we could plug in because we're gamers. So my dad actually did help out a lot with a lot of like the electric stuff. When we moved in, he put in the lines. He actually did help me with my TV getting set up because I couldn't find a stud to put it in. So he gave me like the little metal things to stick in the wall that like spread out when once they're past the drywall. So the TV won't fall off the wall. But yeah, my dad's been a huge help. I know he's not as, you know, mobile as he used to be, but he did help us out a lot. And I'm grateful for that. And if you're curious, our parents kind of took it well, but not well at the same time. They're still upset over it, but, you know, they're not showing us. I think what they miss most of all about us, though, is that Peanut doesn't bark all the time. And, you know, it's like something that you don't realize was a part of your life until it's gone type of deal. And it's not like they miss it in like a good way. I don't know, it's not a negative way either, but like they don't know when they have packages now. So like they have to remember that they have packages instead of relying on Peanut to bark at a random person coming up the driveway. But yeah, I'm all moved in. I'm back to streaming. I stream art on Tuesdays and games on Thursday and Saturday currently. As of November 2024, it's my schedule. I stream games on my Harper Vodage channel. VODAGE, if you're confused. It's linked down below. If you're interested in my content and want to see my gameplay. It's not good gameplay, let me tell you. I'm bad at games, but anyways, that's besides the point. But I hope you guys are excited for the new setup and how things are gonna, like, kind of look in the background sometimes. Because I know my alarm's going off. Because I know I certainly am. Okay, it's all done. I'm not gonna lie, it is not my favorite one. I don't know if it's the colors or the concept. I like the concept when I sketched it out, but I didn't like it when I actually put it down digitally. So maybe it's like a combo of everything. But if you do like this design, you can get this on your very own dot journal. I'll have it linked below if it's live. If not, you can find my author page on Amazon. Or if journals aren't your thing, you can get it on something you do like off of Redbubble. But that is going to be it from me today. If you want to watch another full moon video, I'll have the playlist linked right here. If you want to catch up on anything you missed, you can tap the thumbnail right here. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to do all the cool YouTube things of comment, liking, subscribing, and turning on the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!